And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another week of Battle of the Americas, Batalla de las Americas, number 67. I'm your host, LatVip, and with me is no one today. No one. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Usually I'm joined by Darking later on, but he actually got his second shot today. He got his second COVID shot, and as a result, he's actually feeling pretty bad. he's not feeling too good right now, so he will not be joining me today. He is still adminning the tournament. Again, massive shout out to Darking. Massive shout out. He's still running the event, but he will not be casting with me. So gonna be a bit of a solo cast today, unless someone else can wake up or we'll hop on as well. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to that if that does happen. Otherwise, it's fine. We can solo cast. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the bracket actually is just about to go live. And I kind of wanted to go live a little bit early here. Fun fact: this tournament almost didn't happen. On top of the fact that Darking is feeling a little bit under the weather. We actually didn't have too many signups today. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to have a look at the brackets. We need a minimum of 7 players, and when check-ins officially closed officially, I think we only had 5 or 6. So Darking extended it a little bit longer, messaged a couple people, and boom, we have enough. We have some of our Ducklings. I say some of our Ducklings. Erik is here, of course he is. Cham is here, Trigger, WhiteIdra, Chorocarlo. You know, a lot of our regulars and a couple of new faces. So yeah, thankfully the tournament is happening. I believe Darking is still generating the bracket. What I mean by that is he is still seeding the players, so the bracket isn't 100% confirmed, but a lot of these players are here. So yeah, the bracket will start shortly. Also, I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to everyone in the chat as well. It's great to see everyone. Good morning, Erebus Black. I saw him in our Discord server being like, mate, it's less than 10 a.m. on a Sunday and I'm awake right now. How dare you? How dare you? It's like, yo, that's how we do here on the CranKy Ducklings, right? Every day. Oh, God. Speaking of every day, I wanted to take this moment to talk a little bit about ANZ Champs. For those who didn't know, I actually was casting last night alongside Zeph over on ESL_Australia, a different Twitch channel. I was casting ANZ Champs Season 2. Season 1 was amazing. It's one of those things where I need to speak to ESL about this. They're awful when it comes to advertising VODs, but all of the VODs are now on YouTube. We're probably going to have to make a tweet ourselves about it. But Season 1 of ANZ Champs was something special. I like something that we were talking about afterwards is Zeth, Maynard, Pig. They were talking about how ANZ Champs was probably like the most fun they've ever had in a broadcast, and myself included. ANZ Champs, when it comes to the like vibe of the cast, of the production, of the whole show, when it comes to just everything surrounding it, it's probably better than most DreamHack streams, like DreamHack main streams, to be honest. It was amazing what we were able to do, and we got a lot of love for it as well from the community, from the international casters as well. Zombie Grub, Fear Dragon, a bunch of the other guys, they tuned in and they loved it. Sure, we got a lot of viewership on Twitch, but yo, I recommend people checking out the VODs because again, Season 1 was amazing. It was also in studio as well. That's another thing I should touch on. Season 2 started last night, and it is not in studio. It's here. It's a home broadcast. Because of that, that is where all of this came from. That's why I now have a studio mic set up. I actually have lighting as well. I'm sure you can hold on. I have lights set up, you know. ESL were great enough, I should say ESL Australia, you know, the Australian branch, were kind enough to send like a bunch of equipment to help out with the broadcast, like the mic, like lighting, We got headsets as well. Like we just got like a care package essentially to set ourselves up to broadcast from home. I didn't get a green screen. I think I was meant to. I'm not too sure, but I was happy as well because last night I was the only one without a green screen, and I could show off my plushies. I could show off my Zergling, my ducks, my ducklings. It was a lot of fun. Because of that, the season 2 broadcast last night was a lot of fun, but it wasn't the same as season 1, just because, you know, we aren't in that studio, we aren't all there like vibing off each other and playing off each other. So so yeah, I mean, we're gonna work on it. I know our goal is to try and make season 2 as similar to season 1 as we can and try and capture that, but of course it is difficult when we're not all in person. For those wondering why we're not in person, if you're Australian, you know you know that New South Wales and the Sydney area, we're in lockdown at the moment. We can't see each other. It's just not happening. Just gotta message some people. But yeah, right now Sydney and New South Wales, we're under lockdown, so we actually can't leave our homes unless, you know, I believe we're like essential workers and stuff like that. You need special permissions from your job to actually leave and go to work and stuff like that. We have pretty strict lockdowns at the moment, so we cannot go to the studio, we cannot broadcast live from there. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but the season is still happening and it's still a lot of fun. Obviously our ducklings are a part of it. Starduck and Oreo, you know, they're conducting interviews and they're getting a spotlight. You know, they're taking like player photos and stuff like that. It's like GSL but for ANZ, for Australia and New Zealand. So yeah, I do recommend that if you are interested, maybe check out the VODs. Maybe check out the VODs on ESL Australia. Season 1 VODs are all on YouTube. Season 2, not on YouTube yet, but they are on Twitch. But enough about ANZ, because mate, we are here for America and South America and Latino America. That is why we are here. The bracket is now live, and let's have a look at it together. But also, if you notice, I am in my pajamas. I did just wake up. Okay, here we go. That is not the bracket. It's not 3 players. Let me just refresh. Okay. I'm just setting things up here. Boom. There. Oh, that's not right. Beautiful. Kind of beautiful. Hold on. We can do better. But if you can see the bracket, there we go. Oh god, look at that transparent background. As you can see, the entirety of the bracket, we do have a double elimination bracket today because of the low signups. So because of that, players will have a second chance in today's tournament. On top of that, we have our regulars like Chamaco is there, Erik is there, WhiteIdra. As you can imagine, the first series that we are going to be casting, and I should probably set this up in casting tool, there we go, is going to be Erik versus WhiteIdra, a bit of a ZvT. They are regulars here on this channel. We've casted them many times, of course we have. As we just invite the other casters, boom, there we go. Let's just set things up and get ready for our first series. Massive shout out as well to Gustavo. For those wondering who the hell is Gustavo, he's the Portuguese caster today. He is casting in Brazilian or Portuguese over on his channel. Unfortunately, there is no Spanish stream. Oh, I should probably tell them that already. Patos listo. There we go. Unfortunately, there is no Spanish stream today. Honestly, there hasn't been a Spanish stream in a long time. Last year, it used to be Enki. I love Enki. Enki el hermoso. Enki. I love him. He's great. But Enki hasn't been able to cast Battle of the Americas in a long time. Why? Because his sleep schedule's messed up. Enki, he's a great caster, and he actually casts GSL in Spanish live. Because of that, as you can imagine, he's awake at really abnormal times, and he has to sleep at some point. So because of that, Battle of the Americas isn't at the best time for him, so he hasn't been able to provide Spanish coverage. So we are looking for a Spanish caster for Battle of the Americas, a regular caster. I'm kind of thinking about Cristiano, to be honest. I love Cristiano, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But get the word out there. We're looking for Spanish, not just a caster, I should say, but like a streamer. You know, you have to handle your own production. You have to have your own assets. You have to do your own observing. So there is a bit of a give and take there. Obviously, you do require like a certain, almost want to say, skill set to provide all of that. But you know, the opportunity is there. As we are getting into our first series of the day. I see Emerson, don't remind me. Maybe ESO can help Light create a merch store. Ay, one day. How can you be called Light VIP without having lighting until just now? Look, I've got a light in my room, okay? And for the longest time, that was all I needed, all right? I generate my own light source, thank you very much. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Batalla de las Americas, what? Romanticide LE. We have the Mexican Terran player. He is pink, representing Team Unidos por el Vicio. It is WhiteIdra. Oh, and that was far too loud. I will adjust that. And spotting in the top left hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player. He is red, representing the CranKy Ducklings. He is one of our boys. As where are the settings to the sound? Where are the sound settings? There we go. Oh. I'll lower that a little bit. Beautiful. It is Erik. That's much better. It's much better. Let's go. So of course our duckling is here. Unfortunately, Ryu and Neo, our other Latin American ducklings, are not here today. Unfortunately, they are quite busy. Of course, they have their own studies that they've been working on, but Erik is here, one of the best that Latin America has to offer when it comes to Zerg players, when it comes to players in general. So WhiteIdra, he's got a lot of work to do. Ooh, and already being a little bit cheeky here. Very interesting opener. Actually went for his racks on the low ground, prioritizing these Marines to kill this Overlord. Even if the Overlord gets on top of the pillar, he can always just lift up his racks, and oh my god, he doesn't even need to lift up his racks. The Overlord does go down. Supply blocking Erik. I mean, the hatchery does finish up in time, so the supply block wasn't for too long, but Erik is forced to make another Overlord. Oh, feels bad, man. Oh my god. Let's go. And from here, Erik throws down a Roach Warren. Okay, so a couple of things. One, if you don't know who Erik is, Funada the viewer in the chat, because Erik, again, he's a duckling. Quack. He's a CranKy duckling. And WhiteIdra has been a mainstay from the Latin American scene. He's not a pro player. I would probably consider him a semi-pro player. He's played in a lot of tournaments, and he has taken games off of the best that Latin America has to offer. Sometimes a series as well. You know, he's a very he can cause upsets, if you will, and he is a very cheeky player. He's mainly known for his cheese, for his aggressive nature. Except maybe in TVT. TVT, I think I've seen in macro. But he usually goes for cheese or all-ins, two-base play, stuff like that. So that's why, like, this opener is very cheeky. Erik is in the dark, but Erik is kind of switching things up here. You know, he is looking to be the aggressor. WhiteIdra has a reputation. Everyone knows about WhiteIdra. Erik knows about WhiteIdra. So, mate, let's just go for roaches and let's just end the game. Oh my god, meanwhile, thank you so much, Fraz Matazl. Matazl? Fraza Matazl. Oh god. It's 9 a.m. okay? What do you want from me? Thank you so much for the subscription to our Twitch channel. Thank you, quack. We appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your emotes. We have our lovely duckling. We have our platypus holding his head. Oh no. CranKy, oh no. Hope you enjoy your emotes. Hope you enjoy your replay packs, because we do provide replay packs from this very tournament, Battle of the Americas. Meanwhile, roaches are coming in. Ooh, this tank is looking very exposed. Decent micro so far. No, look at the splits on the roaches, but the Ravager gets taken out, and this tank is getting so many free shots off. It's so exposed, but it's not going down. Here we go. More roaches are coming in, and finally they're getting on top of the tank. The tank will go down. The bunkers finish. But what is there to fill those bunkers? Nothing. 2 of them will go down. There is, oh no, the tank! Run away, tank, please! Pull the boys! The boys are being pulled, but not in time. The second tank goes down. The Ravagers have finished, and now everything else will fall as well. Ay, ay, ay. The defense was looking okay to begin with, but GG gets called. And Erik takes the first game. GG, and oh my god, the notification sounds going crazy. Thank you so much. Hold on, I need to have a closer look at this. Fraza Matazel, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you. Shout out to Diratuga, Vortex, Trigger, oh my god, Feathers, and a HT Viva 3. Shout out to them for receiving those subs. So yeah, thank you so much, Fraza. I'm just gonna shorten it to Fraza. Thank you so much. We appreciate the support. Quack, 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 quack. 5 quacks. Thank you so much. Again, you know, what you get for subscribing is, other than the emotes in the chat, you also get replay packs, not just from this tournament, but as many tournaments as we can. What I mean by that is we cast a lot of tournaments throughout the week: Battle of the Americas, Sentimiento Latino, Copa Hyperion, Grand Platypus Open, and a Apprentice Cup when it's around, Desafiantes whenever that comes around, and of course we are free to give those replay packs to our subscribers. So if you want to learn how to play like some of these players like Erik, Cham, Trigger, Vindicta, maybe even some of the other quirky Southeast Asian players like Mio Micah, Ender, and Gogo Joey, then hey, consider subscribing. We have a lot of replay packs to offer. Oh boy. And of course, all the money that we make on Twitch goes directly back to the players and to the scene. Again, we run our own tournaments, so we provide the prize pool for said tournaments, and our players, like Erik, also earn a salary. We do pay our players, not just Erik, but Australian players like Oreo and Starduck, Peruvian players like Neo and Ryu, and American players like Patty Mac. So again, we wouldn't be able to provide them the support that we do if it wasn't for subscribers on our Twitch channel and Patreons and stuff like that. So thank you, we appreciate it. Oh, as we are getting into game numero dos between these 2 players. Again, like, yo, game 1, just I blinked and it was over. It was oh boy. Here we go. We'll see if something similar happens in game number 2, as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Mexican Terran, the Pink Terran, representing Team Unidos por el Vicio, that is united for the victory. It is WhiteIdra. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, currently up in this series, one of the best that Latin America has to offer when it comes to Zerg players, going for a 12, I'm set a pool first, going for a 15 pool. Oh my god, it is Erik, representing the CranKy Ducklings. Also, Funara Sando in the chat. I think Light said merch store tomorrow. God. Shaking my head, Sando, shaking my head. One day we'll have a merch store. Probably not this year. Maybe 2022 goals. You know, Kuro and I, we've talked a lot about not just our jerseys. Hold on. Not just our jerseys, which we do have here on display, which do have the CranKy Ducklings logo and our race and our name and all, and our flags as well. Our jerseys are pretty cool. Not just our jerseys, but also, you know, things like mugs, maybe towels, you know, other things, maybe keycaps, you know, some quirky things as well. Pins, like duckling pins. That sounds like a lot of fun. But yeah, we don't really have the audience for that right now. I know there's some people that would be interested in that. I don't know if enough people are going to be interested in that. So It's one of those things that will come eventually when we grow our channel. I'm sure a merch store is on the horizon at some point in 2022. I'm sure of it. Speaking of things on the horizon, I was like, what? I saw 2 spores in production. Oh my god, Erik just throwing down 2 spores, trying to avoid the supply block. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, he didn't lose an overlord. I was maybe he was prepared to lose one. Regardless, he does, you know, do the cancel, does a little bit of a spore trick, avoids the supply block. And even though he went for a pool first, it's just been for queens, but he's making a lot of queens. I'm kind of almost feeling like a fast lair, not gonna lie, because he's relying so much on queens early on to defend and less so on lings. Like, this is a great opener to conserve your gas and save it up for something else later on. Speaking of gas, 2 gases are being taken right now. What's it gonna be? Are we gonna see a Roach Warren or are we going to see a lair? We will find out, as so far on the other side of the pond, we do have WhiteIdra going for a pretty standard opening, surprisingly standard, other than the fact that of course he did go for Marines again. He tried to kill the Overlord. This time Erik did pull back and he did not lose his Overlord for free. He didn't try and go for this tower, instead he stayed back a little bit, was a little bit more conservative, and saved his Overlord in the end. And there it is, this is what I was waiting for. Lair is thrown down. All 4 gases have been taken. This is screaming 2 base Muta. But the Baneling nest is kind of throwing me off a little bit. This feels like, I guess, a safe way to go into Mutas, right? That makes sense a little bit. Just in case there was something like a Hellbat push that just suddenly came across the map, so Erik would have something to defend. But again, this should be for the Spire. And it all started from the very beginning of his build, going for that 15 pool, relying on those queens, spreading that creep, getting enough of them to defend on 2 bases. And there is that Spire. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And WhiteIdra is in the dark. He hasn't scouted at all. Why has he not scouted? He didn't go for a Reaper, right? It all comes down to the beginning. Because Erik knew that WhiteIdra skipped the Reaper in game 1, and WhiteIdra is doing the same thing in game 2, well, you can do stuff like this. Like, the chances of you getting scouted are so much lower. WhiteIdra has to go for a scan, he has to go for a drop, he has to do something to see this, and he just has been chilling at home, playing his own game. To be fair, like, you know, he's got a 3rd CC before Starport, right? Like, he's macroing up really well. This isn't what I expect from WhiteIdra, to be honest. But, you know, like, the macro is solid. I am still concerned, though. Like, the wall is not a wall here, and we have a massive wave of lings in production. We have a scan. WhiteIdra sees the lair, but that doesn't tell him anything. Well, sorry, it does tell him stuff, but he's still in the dark, right? He doesn't know how early the lair was, right? He doesn't know how committed this is. What's throwing me off is that we do have Baneling speed on the way. So Erik isn't saving all his gases for mutas. He did save up 900 gas for it, and there we go, 7 mutas on the way. But he isn't being as greedy as he otherwise could have been. Like, he's still respecting his opponent, he's still investing in a ground army. He doesn't want to just roll over and die if a push came across the map. He's playing it safe, and I respect that. I respect that quite a bit. Meanwhile, 3rd base just finished up for Erik. It is so late, but the mutas are meant to make up for that. You know, they're meant to maybe even end the game. What shoots up here? We have Hellions, we have tanks, we have 4 Marines in the bunker. There we go. Scan into the natural. WhiteIdra sees the Spire. Missile turrets on their way. Is this going to be in time? Oh my god. Widowmine's on the way as well. Here we go. Mutas are coming across the map. They do catch a couple of Marines for free. Oh my god, the tanks are going to go down as well. They're so exposed. One of them falls. The second will fall. Oh my god. This is already worth it. Meanwhile, out comes the Cyclone. Down goes the Cyclone. Oh god, no. The drops. Okay. Decent split, but one of the mutas goes down. Maybe a second could go down as well. Viking goes, oh, the Viking does fall. And again, these mutas, they're just doing more than pay for themselves. They're getting out of control. We do have a drop going across the map, but this is ambitious to say the least. WhiteIdra, the wall is still down, by the way. Lings are coming across the map. The game may just end. Okay, there we go. Oh my god, he was so clutch with that depot, raising it just in time. Bunker is standing, but not for long as the Bailings crash in. Everything will fall. The Widowmines need to be at the natural, but they are in the main base instead and across the map. The Widowmines can, I guess, maybe hold the line on in the main base. But the Widowmines are like, what are these Widowmines doing here? Like 4 Widowmines. Oh my god, they weren't even Widowmines. Oh my god, my mistake. I thought he loaded up a drop. Instead, it was Hellions. They do morph into Hellbats, which is great and all, but the natural will fall. Ay, ay, ay. And the main base has been broken. The Widowmine shots have already gone off. There's one more that's about to be reset, but it's going to go off on Lings. The natural will go down. There's still no answer to the mutas is the problem. Sure, we have a couple of Vikings. Sure, we have a couple of Cyclones, but it is just not enough as Erik just overwhelms everything that is WhiteIdra here in his base. And this is going to be GG. Oh, did I press the right button? Hold on. Huh. Was delayed, but there we go. Congratulations, Erik, for taking the series 2-0. WhiteIdra, you know, I'm surprised by how he played, to be honest. Sure, he had an interesting opener with the Marines, right, to catch an Overlord and get an early lead, but we never really got to see like all of that come to fruition. Unfortunately, I was expecting to see more cheese out of WhiteIdra. That's what he's made his name off of. But unfortunately, Erik was the aggressor. Game 1 going for that fast roach push. Game 2 going for 2 base muta. You love to see it. And Erik will move on in the brackets.